Put your hand on a hot stove for a minute and it seems like an hour. Sit with a pretty girl for an hour, and it seems like a minute. Without deep reflection, one knows from daily life that one exists for other people. When the solution is simple, God is answering. Few are those who see with their own eyes and feel with their own hearts. Concern for man and his fate must always form the chief interest of all technical endeavors. Never forget this in the midst of your diagrams and equations. The environment is everything that isn't me. All religions, arts, and sciences are branches of the same tree. The fear of death is the most unjustified of all fears, for there's no risk of accident for someone who's dead. The most beautiful thing we can experience is the mysterious. It is the source of all true art and science. The most incomprehensible thing about the world is that it is comprehensible. I love to travel, but hate to arrive. People love chopping wood. In this activity one immediately sees results. I very rarely think in words at all. A thought comes, and I may try to express it in words afterwards. The process of scientific discovery is, in effect, a continual flight from wonder. We shall require a substantially new manner of thinking if mankind is to survive. It is my conviction that killing under the cloak of war is nothing but an act of murder. You ask me if I keep a notebook to record my great ideas. I've only ever had one. I do not believe that civilization will be wiped out in a war fought with the atomic bomb. Perhaps 2/3 of the people of the earth will be killed. It stands to the everlasting credit of science that by acting on the human mind it has overcome man's insecurity before himself and before nature. Reading, after a certain age, diverts the mind too much from its creative pursuits. Any man who reads too much and uses his own brain too little falls into lazy habits of thinking. One may say the eternal mystery of the world is its comprehensibility. I used to go away for weeks in a state of confusion. I do not believe in the God of theology who rewards good and punishes evil. Confusion of goals and perfection of means seems, in my opinion, to characterize our age. The devil has put a penalty on all things we enjoy in life. Either we suffer in health or we suffer in soul or we get fat. I want to know all God's thoughts, all the rest are just details. I am enough of an artist to draw freely upon my imagination. The grand aim of all science is to cover the greatest number of empirical facts by logical deduction from the smallest number of hypotheses or axioms. The release of atomic energy has not created a new problem, it has merely made more urgent the necessity of solving an existing one. The road to perdition has ever been accompanied by lip service to an ideal. It gives me great pleasure indeed to see the stubbornness of an incorrigible nonconformist warmly acclaimed. There is no logical way to the discovery of these elemental laws. There is only the way of intuition, which is helped by a feeling for the order lying behind the appearance. There comes a time when the mind takes a higher plane of knowledge but can never prove how it got there. True art is characterized by an irresistible urge in the creative artist. There could be no fairer destiny for any physical theory than that it should point the way to a more comprehensive theory in which it lives on as a limiting case. I believe that a simple and unassuming manner of life is best for everyone, best both for the body and the mind. True religion is real living, living with all one's soul, with all one's goodness and righteousness. As far as the laws of mathematics refer to reality, they are not certain, and as far as they are certain, they do not refer to reality. I am a deeply religious non-believer. This is a somewhat new kind of religion. Small is the number of people who see with their eyes and think with their minds. One strength of the communist system of the East is that it has some of the character of a religion and inspires the emotions of a religion. I shall never believe that God plays dice with the world. All these primary impulses, not easily described in words, are the springs of man's actions. Isn't it strange that I who have written only unpopular books should be such a popular fellow? Human beings must have action, and they will make it if they cannot find it. Too many of us look upon Americans as dollar chasers. This is a cruel libel, even if it is reiterated thoughtlessly by the Americans themselves. To the master's honor all must turn, each in its track, without a sound, forever tracing Newton's ground. Morality is of the highest importance, but for us, not for God. It was the experience of mystery, even if mixed with fear, that engendered religion. Occurrences in this domain are beyond the reach of exact prediction because of the variety of factors in operation, not because of any lack of order in nature. It should be possible to explain the laws of physics to a barmaid. Solitude is painful when one is young, but delightful when one is more mature. He who joyfully marches to music in rank and file has already earned my contempt. He has been given a large brain by mistake, since for him the spinal cord would suffice. The attempt to combine wisdom and power has only rarely been successful, and then only for a short while. If I were not a physicist, I would probably be a musician. I often think in music. I live my daydreams in music. I see my life in terms of music. The unleashed power of the atom has changed everything save our modes of thinking, and we thus drift toward unparalleled catastrophe. We should take care not to make the intellect our goal. It has, of course, powerful muscles, but no personality. Most of the fundamental ideas of science are essentially simple, and may, as a rule, be expressed in a language comprehensible to everyone. I cannot imagine a God who rewards and punishes the objects of his creation and is but a reflection of human frailty. Mozart's music is so pure and beautiful that I see it as a reflection of the inner beauty of the universe. I do not believe in the God of theology who rewards good and punishes evil. I know not with what weapons World War III will be fought, but World War IV will be fought with sticks and stones. If we knew what it was we were doing, it would not be called research, would it? I live in that solitude which is painful in youth, but delicious in the years of maturity. We cannot solve our problems with the same thinking we used when we created them. Weakness of attitude becomes weakness of character. No problem can be solved from the same level of consciousness that created it. Peace cannot be kept by force, it can only be achieved by understanding. I never think of the future, it comes soon enough. Know not with what weapons World War III will be fought, but World War IV will be fought with sticks and stones. Great spirits have always encountered violent opposition from mediocre minds. Once we accept our limits, we go beyond them. Everything should be made as simple as possible, but not simpler. There are two ways to live. You can live as if nothing is a miracle. You can live as if everything is a miracle. No amount of experimentation can ever prove me right. A single experiment can prove me wrong. A question that sometimes drives me hazy: am I or are the others crazy? If you can't explain it simply, you don't understand it well enough. Only two things are infinite: the universe and human stupidity, and I'm not sure about the former. A person who never made a mistake never tried anything new. It's not that I'm so smart, it's just that I stay with problems longer. The only source of knowledge is experience. Anyone who doesn't take truth seriously in small matters cannot be trusted in large ones either. The world is a dangerous place to live, not because of the people who are evil, but because of the people who don't do anything about it. Intellectuals solve problems, geniuses prevent them. I think and think for months and years. 99 times, the conclusion is false. The 100th time I am right. Any man who can drive safely while kissing a pretty girl is simply not giving the kiss the attention it deserves. Everyone should be respected as an individual, but no one idolized. Only a life lived for others is a life worthwhile. Intellectual growth should commence at birth and cease only at death. Life is like riding a bicycle. To keep your balance, you must keep moving. Look deep into nature, and then you will understand everything better. You can't blame gravity for falling in love. We can't solve problems by using the same kind of thinking we used when we created them. It is the supreme art of the teacher to awaken joy in creative expression and knowledge. Nationalism is an infantile disease. It is the measles of mankind. Common sense is the collection of prejudices acquired by age 18. The true sign of intelligence is not knowledge but imagination. Education is what remains after one has forgotten what one has learned in school. If people are good only because they fear punishment and hope for reward, then we are a sorry lot indeed. Gravitation is not responsible for people falling in love. Any man who reads too much and uses his own brain too little falls into lazy habits of thinking. All that is valuable in human society depends upon the opportunity for development accorded the individual. It is strange to be known so universally and yet to be so lonely. The hardest thing to understand in the world is the income tax. He who can no longer pause to wonder and stand wrapped in awe is as good as dead. His eyes are closed. The monotony and solitude of a quiet life stimulates the creative mind. Strive not to be a success, but rather to be of value. Coincidence is God's way of remaining anonymous. Logic will get you from A to B, imagination will take you everywhere. Reality is merely an illusion, albeit a very persistent one. Imagination is everything. It is the preview of life's coming attractions. Anyone who has never made a mistake has never tried anything new. The only reason for time is so that everything doesn't happen at once. Whoever is careless with the truth in small matters cannot be trusted with important matters. Pure mathematics is, in its way, the poetry of logical ideas. The important thing is not to stop questioning. Curiosity has its own reason for existing. The value of a man should be seen in what he gives and not in what he is able to receive. A table, a chair, a bowl of fruit and a violin. What else does a man need to be happy? Try not to become a man of success, but rather try to become a man of value. If you are out to describe the truth, leave elegance to the tailor. The gift of fantasy has meant more to me than my talent for absorbing positive knowledge. Technological progress is like an axe in the hands of a pathological criminal.